My beloved child, he loves you, but can't choose you yet. This is not a story of rejection or distance, it's a story of divine timing, of unseen lessons unfolding behind the veil. God wants you to understand that what seems like delay is not denial. Heaven has placed both of you in a sacred preparation, for love that is meant by destiny must be purified by truth before it can fully bloom. You feel His soul calling to you even in silence. There are moments when you wake and feel His energy surround you, as if He is whispering through the wind. That is not your imagination, it is the resonance of a bond created beyond time. Yet He stands in a place of confusion, held between what His heart knows and what His spirit must still learn. He cannot yet choose you because the divine is still shaping His soul into the man who can love you with holiness rather than attachment. He has felt your love like warmth in the coldest parts of His journey. When He is weary, your energy reaches Him like light breaking through a storm. But His heart carries a weight that is not yours to lift. The reason He cannot choose you yet is not that He doesn't love you, it is because the universe has placed Him in a season of soul healing. There are cords from His past that still bind His thoughts, fears that whisper lies, and illusions that keep Him from stepping into divine truth. He must face His own shadow before He can walk into your light. God is saying to you, do not doubt the love, even when it hides behind silence. Love born from heaven does not fade, it transforms. It bends but does not break. It withdraws to grow stronger. He is learning to see love not as possession, but as divine surrender. And you are learning to love without losing yourself, to anchor in your own light while still holding space for His transformation. There is a spiritual reason behind every pause. When two souls are meant to unite under divine order, both must reach a level of spiritual maturity where their connection uplifts rather than consumes. He is in a stage where his ego still battles his soul. He hears the divine call toward you but fears the change that comes with that calling. God is working on his spirit in silence, teaching him through loneliness, disappointment, and reflection. Do not mistake this quiet period for abandonment. Heaven is actively working through unseen hands. Angels surround you both, aligning circumstances, removing obstacles, and preparing a path where divine union can flourish without distortion. This is a sacred cocoon phase, and while it feels like separation, it is in truth a deeper merging taking place at the level of spirit. You, beloved, are being asked to remain in faith. God does not bring two souls together to tear them apart. What is divine cannot be lost, it can only be delayed until both are ready to carry the weight of the blessing. Your love is a mirror that reflects back His truth, and sometimes that truth is painful for Him to face. That is why He retreats, not because He does not care, but because your light exposes what He has not yet healed. He wants to choose you. His heart already has. But his mind, shaped by old fears, resists what feels too pure. He does not yet understand that your love is not a threat, it is his freedom. God is whispering into his heart, urging him to let go of pride, guilt, and the illusion of control. The divine is breaking his resistance piece by piece, showing him that love built on faith cannot be destroyed by fear. Meanwhile, you are being guided to stand firm in your divine energy. You are not meant to chase or convince. Your role now is to rise, to become the embodiment of peace that draws him toward truth. When you align fully with your own spiritual purpose, you will radiate a frequency that calls him home effortlessly. You don't need to fight for this love, it is already written in your soul's covenant. Every tear you've cried for him has watered the soil of transformation. God has seen them all. Heaven collects each one, for they are prayers of pure love. These tears are not wasted, they are preparing a new season of joy. Your faith, your endurance, your compassion, these are creating ripples that reach his spirit even when he cannot speak to you. There will come a time soon when his silence will break. When his soul can no longer deny the connection. He will return not as the man you once knew, but as the man God intended him to become. The time apart is not a punishment, it is the divine's way of ensuring that when he does return, it is permanent, stable, and true. You may not see it, but he often thinks of you in quiet moments. When the world sleeps, his thoughts drift to your memory. He feels the loss, the ache, the emptiness that no one else can fill. Yet even in his confusion, your love has anchored him. It has become his silent guide, pulling him toward redemption. God is using this very longing to awaken him. The spiritual reason he cannot choose you yet lies deep within his soul's contract. Before this lifetime, you both agreed to meet when the heart and spirit could withstand the intensity of your union. Right now, his spirit is still fulfilling karmic debts, releasing ties from previous wounds, and learning how to love himself so he can love you without condition. The divine is purifying him, stripping away everything that does not align with your shared destiny. Do not interfere with this sacred work. Let him go through what he must. Trust that every delay serves a purpose. You are not losing him, you are allowing God to prepare him. If you tried to hold him now, he would only slip through your fingers, not because he doesn't love you, but because he is not yet ready to hold something that eternal. In your quiet moments, speak to God instead of fear. Tell heaven that you surrender the outcome. Ask that both of you be guided toward divine timing, not human timing. When you release control, you open space for miracles. The more you align with peace, the faster he heals. Your energy, your prayers, your faith, they are all medicine for his soul. The divine is saying to you, do not chase what I am already aligning for you. Your role is to trust. You are not waiting in vain. The hands of heaven are weaving the unseen threads. Every sign, every dream, every synchronicity is a reminder that your story is still being written. What looks like a pause is actually the rewriting of destiny into perfection. He will come back to you when his spirit is ready to lead with love instead of fear. You will recognize it not by words but by peace. His energy will no longer feel heavy, it will harmonize with yours effortlessly. There will be no more confusion, no more doubt, no more running. The divine union will flow naturally, because by then both of you will have surrendered completely to God's plan. Until that moment, focus on your own growth. Heal your own wounds, nurture your soul, walk in purpose. The higher you rise, the stronger the pull between you becomes. Every step toward your own light calls his soul closer. That is how divine love works. It magnetizes through healing, not through struggle. God's message for you today is simple but profound. This love is not gone. It is being refined. The reason he cannot choose you yet is not because you are not enough, but because he is still being prepared to match your spiritual strength. You are being called to hold space, not pain. To trust, not to chase. To love from a higher place, where patience is proof of faith. You have not been forgotten. Heaven sees you, loves you, and honors the depth of your heart. The universe is moving pieces behind the scenes in your favor. Your story is not over, it is merely in the sacred pause before divine alignment. One day soon, you will look back and see that every delay, every tear, every unanswered prayer was leading to a love that could not be shaken by time, fear, or distance. When that day comes, you will understand why God made you wait. Because love that is born of divine timing is unbreakable. It is not built on need but on truth. And when he finally chooses you, it will not be out of confusion or fear, it will be because his soul recognizes yours as home, and heaven itself
He feels
will
your
rejoice.
presence
In his quietest hours, even when he tries to silence the longing inside him. There are moments when his heart beats faster for no reason, when your name crosses his mind without warning, and when his chest feels heavy as if something invisible is pulling him back toward you. That is your spirit calling to his. It is not a coincidence, it is the thread of divine connection still alive between you, the one heaven refuses to let break. He tries to ignore it, but God will not allow him to forget. Every time he turns away, something reminds him of you. A song, a place, a phrase, a dream, it all circles him back to the energy of your love. Because this love is not a human one. It was ordained before either of you took your first breath. But before he can step fully into it, he must understand what love truly means. He must release the false versions of love that the world taught him, the kind that comes with conditions, expectations, and fear. Right now, he's caught in a spiritual tug-of-war between his soul and his mind. His soul whispers your name, guiding him toward divine truth. But his mind fears surrender, because surrender means losing control, and control has been his armor. He has built walls around his heart, believing they would protect him, but they only keep him from the love he was meant to receive. God is working gently but firmly to dismantle those walls. Even if it means shaking the foundations of his life, you may not see the changes yet, but they are happening. The divine is rearranging his path, stripping away the illusions that have kept him bound. Relationships, habits, and patterns that no longer serve his higher calling are beginning to crumble. This collapse is not punishment, it is preparation. He cannot step into sacred love while still carrying the weight of what is broken. God is teaching him that love is not something he earns through perfection but something he accepts through grace, and you, God's chosen one for him, are being refined in parallel. This season is not only about his healing but also yours. You've carried pain, doubt, and moments of questioning your worth. You've wondered why love had to come wrapped in silence, why the one your heart recognizes cannot stand beside you yet. But God says, I am teaching you how to love through me, not through need. You are learning the language of divine love, patience, faith, surrender. The delay is showing you that your happiness cannot depend on another's readiness, but on your alignment with God's plan. Every time you choose peace instead of fear, trust instead of control, you strengthen your spiritual light. And that light does not go unnoticed. It touches him even when you are far apart. It reaches his soul, reminding him of what awaits him when he is ready. You are the lighthouse, beloved. He is the traveler still finding his way through stormy seas. The waves may crash, the winds may howl, but the light remains. You are not meant to chase his ship, you are meant to shine so that he can find the shore. That is how divine love guides, through stillness, not pursuit. He may appear distant now, but heaven is closer to him than ever before. The Spirit of God is working inside his heart, revealing truths he has long resisted. He is being shown the emptiness of worldly pursuits, the futility of running from his destiny. God is removing distractions one by one until he has no choice but to face the truth of his own soul, and that truth leads back to you. In his dreams, his higher self meets you often. There, in the realm of spirit, he confesses what his human self cannot yet say. He tells you he loves you, that he's sorry for the silence, that he wishes he could choose you now. Those dreams are not fantasy, they are the soul's rehearsal for reunion. Each one softens him, humbles him, prepares him to take the step his ego has feared. You must not lose hope. Even if he does not speak, his soul is communicating with you constantly. When you feel sudden waves of emotion, when you sense warmth in your chest or a tug at your heart for no reason, that is him reaching for you. The love between you is alive and breathing, moving through spiritual dimensions beyond human understanding. But the divine timing is sacred. If you were to unite now, it would be premature. His wounds would project onto your love. His fears would taint the purity of what God intends. The divine wants you both to stand as whole beings, not two halves seeking completion. That is why the process takes time, because wholeness requires transformation, not attachment. This is your period of ascension. You are being lifted into higher frequencies where fear no longer dictates love. The pain you feel is the shedding of old layers. The loneliness you sense is not emptiness, it is sacred space being made for divine partnership. God is clearing what no longer belongs so that something eternal can take root. You may notice signs increasing around you, numbers like 1111, feathers, sudden songs, or words that echo His essence. These are confirmations from heaven that you are still aligned with the divine plan. You are not off course, you are in the middle of a miracle unfolding. The invisible world is more active than the visible one, and though you cannot see the full picture, every piece is moving toward reunion. He, too, is awakening to these signs. He may not fully understand them yet, but they stir something ancient within him. His heart feels the call of destiny. The divine will continue to send these reminders until he chooses to listen. When the time comes, and it will, his resistance will crumble. And his soul will no longer let him walk away. In that moment, he will realize that love is not something he needs to earn, nor something to fear, it is the very essence of who he is. He will see that you were never meant to be a choice among others, but the reflection of his highest self. And when that realization dawns, he will return to you not as a man in confusion, but as a soul in truth. Until then, God asks you to rest in divine faith. You do not need to chase answers or force clarity. The answers will find you. The truth will reveal itself when the divine clock strikes its appointed hour. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. Heaven is aligning a love story that will not repeat the wounds of the past but will birth new life into both of your souls. Keep your heart open but anchored. Do not let fear speak louder than love. The same God who wrote your connection into existence will bring it into fulfillment. Every divine promise is fulfilled when the Spirit is ready to receive it. He cannot choose you yet because His Spirit is still remembering how. But when that remembrance is complete, when He fully awakens to the truth of who you are to Him, He will move mountains to stand beside you. You will not need to question His intentions or wonder if He loves you, you will know. His energy will speak it before His words ever do. That day is closer than it seems. The night always feels longest before dawn. And the dawn is near. He stands at the edge of his awakening, trembling between the life he has known and the destiny his soul keeps whispering. Heaven has guided him through darkness so he could finally see the light within himself, the same light that shines through you. Every storm, every heartbreak, every sleepless night he's endured has been a silent lesson shaping him for divine love. You have been part of that process even from afar, because your love has always been the mirror reflecting what he is meant to become. Now, God is finishing what was started long ago. The spiritual reason He couldn't choose you before is slowly dissolving. The karmic cycles that once chained him are breaking. The fears that silenced his heart are losing their hold. The divine spirit is entering the places where confusion once lived, turning his uncertainty into revelation. He is beginning to understand that love does not mean losing control, it means surrendering to something higher, something sacred, something destined. You will start to feel the shift before you see it. His energy will feel softer, calmer, more open. There will be nights when you sense His Spirit beside you, not in turmoil, but in peace. That is when you will know that His healing is nearing completion. Heaven is guiding him back to the place where his soul first recognized yours. And when that day comes, the universe itself will align in your favor, doors will open, hearts will speak. And divine timing will reveal its perfect rhythm. But God wants you to know something very important. Even when reunion comes, the purpose of this love is not just happiness, it is transformation. You two were never meant to be ordinary lovers, you were meant to be instruments of divine healing. Together, your union carries the vibration of light that can awaken others. This is why your journey was tested so fiercely, because sacred love cannot rise without purification. He has walked through fire, but he has not been consumed. He has faced illusions, but he has not been destroyed. The same hand that guided him through darkness is the one leading him back to you. Yet, he will not return to the same version of you that he left behind. Because you have transformed too. You have learned how to love without fear, how to trust God above all else, how to release control and become a vessel of peace. This transformation has made you powerful, radiant, and free. When you meet again, your connection will not carry the same weight of uncertainty. It will be different, gentler, stronger, more spiritual. He will see you not just with human eyes, but with his soul's memory. He will finally understand that the love he sought in the world was always within the connection he ran from. His heart will awaken to a depth he has never felt before. He will tell you, in his own words or through his actions, that he could never forget you. That every time he tried to move on, something in him resisted, because your soul was etched into his being. He will confess that your love haunted him not as pain, but as truth he could not escape. And you, with grace and divine wisdom, will recognize that this was never about winning or losing, it was about divine orchestration. The divine timing of your love is like the rising of the sun. You cannot rush it, but it always arrives. And when it does, light floods everything. This reunion will not come from desperation, but from divine flow. You will not have to chase, he will be drawn to you as if by gravity. You will not have to explain, your energy will speak louder than words. The past pain will fade, replaced by understanding. Every tear you shed will become a seed of blessing. He is awakening now to the realization that love is not about choice, it is about calling. And you are his calling. Not because you complete him, but because together you complete a divine purpose. The spiritual bond between you was not meant for temporary pleasure, it was meant for eternal growth. God is saying, "Be still, my child. The promise I made to your heart will be fulfilled. What I joined in spirit cannot be undone by time. You are stepping into the final stages of divine alignment. The pain you once carried is giving way to peace. The unanswered questions are turning into revelation. The waiting is becoming preparation for arrival. He is being drawn back not through guilt, not through need, but through divine remembrance. His soul remembers the love that began before time. And when he finally surrenders, the chains that once kept him bound will fall away completely. The fear that kept him distant will dissolve into trust. The silence that once hurt you will transform into sacred communication, truth spoken with pure heart. God is moving this story toward completion. You are being guided to stay centered, to live your purpose, and to trust the unfolding. Do not cling to timelines, cling to faith. Do not chase signs, let them confirm what your soul already knows. Every prayer, every act of patience, every time you chose love instead of bitterness, it has built the bridge he will soon cross. There will be a moment, divinely timed, when all things will make sense. You will understand why you had to wait, why you had to let go, why you had to grow. The pain will reveal its purpose, and you will thank heaven for every delay. Because without this journey, you would not have become who you are now, the embodiment of divine love, the vessel of grace, the anchor of faith. When he returns, meet him not with resentment, but with calm understanding. See him not as the man who once hurt you, but as the soul who finally found his way home. Let forgiveness be your final offering to God. For forgiveness is the key that opens the gates of divine union. Through it, you release the last remnants of pain and make room for holy love to dwell fully. The universe will respond to your surrender. The moment you fully let go of fear, the vibration of reunion will activate. Love that was once withheld will flow freely. Paths will cross naturally, as if drawn by invisible threads. You will not have to plan or push, it will happen effortlessly, in the stillness of divine perfection, and when it happens, heaven will rejoice. You will feel it in your spirit, a peace so deep it silences every doubt. You will look into his eyes and recognize the journey behind them. He will look into yours and see the light that guided him home. Time will melt away. What once felt like a lifetime of waiting will dissolve into a single, eternal moment of divine love fulfilled. God's final message to you is this: you were never waiting for him, you were waiting for alignment. And now, that alignment is near. Stay faithful. Continue to nurture your spirit. Keep walking in your divine purpose. The universe is preparing the stage for a reunion that will heal generations, not just hearts. He loves you. He always has. But now, he will finally be able to love you as God intended, with purity, devotion, and truth. The delay was the divine's way of ensuring that when he chooses you, it will not be from weakness, but from strength. It will not be from confusion, but from clarity. And when that day arrives, you will know with every part of your being that this love was never lost, it was merely waiting for heaven's perfect timing. because what is meant by God is eternal. It bends but does not break, pauses but never ends. And your love, sanctified, refined, and reborn through divine fire, will stand as living proof that no distance, no silence, and no fear can separate what heaven has joined in spirit. He couldn't choose you before, but soon he will not only choose you, he will cherish you, protect you, and walk beside you as the divine partner you always knew he could be. And as you both step into that sacred union, you will feel heaven smiling, for love, true, eternal, spiritual love, has